Kia ora, Taurus. This is your reading. Oh, this is your reading for the new moon in Leo, which is happening at this current time. And so let's just see what's on the storyline for you today. And thanks for all your views and comments and likes and subscribes. I really do appreciate it very, very much. So let's get into your story today. It's a bit of a cold day here, but spring is just around the corner. Let's see. In the southern hemisphere. Hello, welcome back. If you're joining me again, or if you're new, we do go through and clarify with a few other decks, Taurus. So we'll just, here we go. One, oof, yeah. Okay. Let's see. So we're coming out here with a pretty nice collection of cards. We come out, Taurus, for you with the card of winning, the card of success. Sometimes you ask yourself, gosh, how did that happen? Well, sometimes these things just happen. They can be from our great efforts. This is a card to be seen to be of service, like the Six of Wands. It's a card of truth and integrity and victory because of that. So whether that's about yourself or the way that you present to others, a level of sincerity, Taurus. It's a wonderful card, and it sits within the tree of life on the point of beauty and harmony. Very balanced. We then have the Hermit coming in here. So the hero's journey, maybe this is a piece of past, maybe it's insights. It will be insights into the machinations and the makeup of you, of your soul, of your personage. So whether this is from the past here, this Hermit, excuse me, or whether it's something you're experiencing at the moment, we retreat, we go inward here. And there's a lot of things that are illuminated to us, and by that act of just going inward, having a break really from a lot of stimuli that's around us, external stimuli, we illuminate aspects, things that maybe we weren't aware of before within ourselves, Taurus. We then have the beautiful Fool coming out afresh, ready to leap off into a whole new journey, into a whole new zone or period of your life. It really speaks of fresh growth and a new enthusiasm without a huge level of expectation. It is the joy of being alive here. And then we have what could be seen as a powerful position. It may well be you, or it could be something that you deal with in your life, work-wise, that kind of thing. The Emperor. So the Emperor in its great benevolent form is a wonderful force. I think maybe, Taurus, if you see yourself as embodying that Emperor to a degree, it's actually really nice, because sometimes the Emperor, depending on other cards, can be a bit restrictive. Therefore, often it is about work or some structure of sorts, but this is looking very positive. So let's go through and we'll clarify. Let us see. So we're looking at victory here, the first card off the block for Taurus in this story. In this story, we're looking at victory, the Six of Wands, being seen by others, reflected Our value is reflected back at us. We've got the High Priestess here. I see Taurus at the time, at this current time, being somewhat, not reclusive, but maybe taking some time out or preparing. The High Priestess really speaks of, there's a lot of information in this card about and for you, and you are connected to this High Priestess, whether you see it like that or not. It's the intuitive voice. It's really intuition at its most acute and accurate. You know, Taurus, I think you're seeing outward in a very, very clear way, beyond personality habits or behavioral habits, or you know, those issues that we have about ourselves sometimes. We all have at times. You're seeing beyond that. You're quite clear and clean is what I get. The Hermit, please, for Taurus. Clean and clear. Is there family stuff that's been worked through? 10 of Discs. We are surrounded by wealth in terms of people and what we hold to be valuable and what we hold to be dear. But it is also about family inheritance, whether that be genetic or familial family lines. You know, that certain things are carried on throughout generations in relation to this Hermit, shining a light on some of the darker corners in you, because it is, you know, the Hermit is about you, that aspect of you. I mean, often the Hermit can be a guide for others as well. We're taking that lantern into the, you know, depths. Oh, is that thunder? I think it is. Thunder, wow. We're taking that lantern into the dark, you know, to shine a light. And sometimes it illuminates for others as well, depending on what the situation is. So anyway, let's keep going. We'll get one more for the Hermit and that 10 of Discs, please. For Taurus today, at this new moon time. Yep. Look, you know you're in a strong position, Taurus. You're in a strong position generally. Financially, on a personal level, all of that is what I get. But there are times when we as I said earlier, shut off the external distractions and stimuli to just be to just get back in to our central, you know, to really get back in here and breathe. And sometimes there's a review here. Sometimes there's a review. We know our value. We have clear sight. And maybe we want to see a little bit more. Maybe we're looking a little bit more critically. I say this because we've got the 4 of Swords coming through. Now this, again, a card of respite and rest. We go into our internal chamber and we rest. Whether that's a nap, whether it's just lying down, meditating, whatever it happens to be, going for a walk even, you know. In that time, in that state, a lot of information comes to us. You could call it downloads, you could call it insight. And at the same time, we are resting, and sometimes we just need to, you know, without being answerable to anyone else. We need to just rest. Queen of Pentacles. I do see you, Taurus. This is you. as I said, surrounded by. You're in a good position. You're in a good position here. Let's look at the Fool. I mean, there might be a need to leap off into something new. Can we mix it up with what we do? Excuse me, can we mix it up with what we're already doing, or is it like a big shift? We get the Tower coming out here, Taurus. We're just going to try and get another card. Do I need to talk about that? So we're looking at the Fool, a big leap. It is a leap of faith. Or it could be a smaller leap of faith, as I said, combining some of those things you want to maybe do or investigate or combine with what you're already doing. Because I do see Taurus in a very strong position. Now, sometimes we can dismantle our own towers, the tower being this structure that protects us, where we inhabit. It protects us, but then sometimes we get closed off, or so like the symbology of the tower. Sometimes we dismantle it ourselves. Sometimes something comes along and sort of helps us do that, Taurus. You know what I mean? And I love this Tower. It's also about an infusion of new insight and clarity, which is something that the Hermit speaks of also, as much as the High Priestess here, Taurus. Can we get another card for this Fool and the Tower? Exactly, and this is a great thing. If you are shifting things up, changing things around a bit, you're in a good position to do so. The Six of Swords is telling us that itself is going to take you to a kind of calmer, more conducive place for you at this current time. It could be about travel. You might have just booked tickets or something to go traveling at some point. But this really speaks of whether it be physical or psychological, moving to a calmer place, Taurus. So it's pretty nice. It's good. It's a nice reading. The Emperor here, this Emperor figure. Oh, the Emperor. We can sometimes, yes, be our own worst enemy. We can sometimes be our own sort of on the lower polarity of the Emperor. We can be that for ourselves, Taurus. We're looking at the Emperor. We see stress. We see a bit of anxiety with the Nine of Swords. This is an anxious, creating anxiety card. It is worry for worry's sake and not for any other reason. Catastrophic thinking, cloud of anxiety that seems to be hanging around us. It's something connected with restrictions to you. I do see that. As I said, though, we can be our own worst emperor in terms of what we allow ourselves, Taurus. We have the Five of Wands here, which is, I say conflictual, but it's not, it's just like relaying boundaries, reconfirming boundary lines, and sometimes, all the time actually, we do need a level of conflict in order to be able to negotiate, in order to smooth an issue out, to rectify a situation, with a clear mind. So there is the drawing of boundaries, a little bit of play, fight. Yeah, I just want to see what you're made of there, bash, boom, boom. Not condoning violence. It's not in that sense. So we're talking of wands. We're talking about the will, our own will, and bashing up against others with that. And so there might be a bit of restriction here in your life at this current time, even though, the source of that potential restriction could also be a very loving force, a loving person, a loving force, a loving situation. You know what I mean? So it's just working, negotiating, I guess. But let's get but as I said at the beginning, you're in a really good position here. Let's get a Brian Froud Pixie and Fairy for an extra glimmer. What can we see, Pixie and Fairies? Yeah, there's a feeling of whether it's just the way that things are at the moment, just at this time, Taurus, there's a feeling, a need to break free, like the Fool, a need to set off new, like the Fool, which is happening, it's going to happen. And if I'm looking at this in a timely zone, the storyline, there's a restriction on the soul, there's a restriction on your spirit, but it can be just the way that you're viewing yourself at the moment. I say this because we get the Soul Shrinker, which is a really unpleasant card, but often we perform that for ourselves, and often we inflict that upon ourselves, and often there's a reason for it. It's kind of like a wake up thing. It's like we don't want to sit in that too long. The Soul Shrinker, it's diminishing our essence, our capabilities, and our potential, because we never cease to have potential at whatever age, whatever time we're at in our lives. With that, which I think is a great thing, is the Ra. Now, this is like a kinetic sculpture, Lenlai. It's bomb. It has a life of its own. Its pure purpose is movement, is to shake things up. And maybe for some Taurians out there, that's what they're feeling like at the moment, It's like, I want to shake things up. How do I do it? How am I going to get the little ball rolling here, the Ra rolling, You've got the High Priestess and the Hermit. Here, you've got all the big ones, the Fool and the Emperor, So let's just get a rock mineral crystal for you, Taurus, for you at this new moon in Leo. And lovely Leo, card of the sun and revivification. Is that actually a word? I don't know. But we are in the zone of being able to revivify ourselves, I think. And how appropriate is this card for this time and for you, Taurus, actually. We've got golden topaz. We have faith. We need faith. Always. Wise action, perseverance, and confidence. This beautiful golden topaz shining. It's light. So if we carry that in our mind's eye for the week to lighten our step on this, which is, you're in a great position. There's some challenges, there's some decisions, but it's all going to work out well, Taurus, for you at this time. So take good care. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for all your likes, shares, comments, all of that. It really helps me to keep this channel going. So take good care, Taurus, and we'll see you next time. Ka kite, bye.